and welcome to my first sort of podcast. Very exciting, and what a beautiful time to do it around the new moon. We have the Scorpio new moon, solar eclipse at the moment, so a new moon and a solar eclipse all in one, beginning of the new eclipse season, which is really exciting, bringing about lots of fresh and new energy, closing off lots of things that perhaps have been going on. So I'm going to speak today just briefly about the Scorpio new moon, the energy around it, what it may mean for you, and of course the solar eclipse as well. Today, the 25th of October, so new moon falls on this day, so beautiful time to do it. As always, we feel that energy a little bit before and after. Normally with a new or full moon, we're feeling that energy a few days before, a few days after. Because it's coupled with an eclipse, though, you may find that you're feeling that energy or have already felt that energy for around about a month. And you might feel it a month afterwards as well. So eclipse energy just really amplifies everything. And so you may find that energy has been really heightened. As with everything, things will affect everyone differently. So as I speak about a few things, things might resonate with you, things might pop up for you, other things you might be like, no, that doesn't sit with me, that doesn't resonate with me today. That's fine too, okay? So just sit with what does resonate with you, see what's there, and just be curious. Be curious, be aware of what may be going on inside your emotional body and your internal body. Of course, I do a lot of this when we work, through our yin yoga practice. We work with our physical and our emotional body and shifting and moving energy, but just really wanted to bring a little podcast in for those of you that perhaps don't really want to practice yin yoga, or maybe a little bit scared of what it entails, or maybe just don't have the time at the moment. You just want to sort of listen to something while you're cooking away, you're getting on with your day, you're driving in your car. So this is for you. So enjoy. So as I said, 25th of October, so Scorpio new moon. Scorpio is all about transformation. Okay, the Scorpion transforming and moving forward, releasing what's old, moving into the new. So new moons are generally a time of new beginnings as well. Fresh start, new beginnings, new moon. And a lot of that energy, of course, is supported through this new moon as well. And with that eclipse coming in, everything, as I said, is just really heightened. So main words are transformation, inspiration, taking inspiration from it, and trust. Learning to trust in the universe. There's a lot of themes under this new moon and under this eclipse that have really been with us over the last few months. So over the last few months, we've done a lot of heart energy. We've really been asked to dig deep into our heart, to look at where we're placing our energy. So to look at where we're placing our energy, and if our energy is placed in areas that are filling us up or depleting us, and to really be mindful and protective of our own energy, to really honour our hearts. When we can live a little more from our heart and move away from our mind, move away from what we think we should be doing, what we think others think we should be doing. All of the societal pressure, all of the pressure from those around us, the pressure that we put on ourselves. When we drop into our heart space and live more from our heart, that's a really beautiful place. And sometimes we have to really set boundaries when we do that as well. So we've been asked to do that over the last few months, to set boundaries, to be mindful of where our energy is going, to connect to our heart and what's important to us. This new moon is really asking us to honour that. So take some time over the next few days, week, month, if you can, just sit in some stillness and ask yourself, ask your heart, what's important to you? What are the most important things in your life? What do you value the most? Not what you think you should value, not what you think should be important, what you feel is important, what is in your heart. And that will change. And that will change every day. It will change from morning to night. It will change throughout the seasons. It is constantly changing. It's something that we need to connect with continuously. It's not something that we can just do once And then we know exactly what our values are for the rest of our life. We know what's important to us forever. We've got to keep coming back to it. Those things change. And just really staying connected to your heart as much as you can through this energy. So if you can, take some time in stillness and just really listen to your heart. Listen to whether you're in alignment with it at the moment. You know, are you living from your heart space? Are there little niggles there? Are there things that are kind of just telling you, you know it's not right, you know it's not there, maybe you're just pushing it to the side, pushing it deep down, ignoring. We're very good at doing that. And so it's time just to really bring all those things to the surface, acknowledge them, be aware of them, and then try to align your heart with your life. Try to make small changes. You don't need to make big, drastic changes, although this new moon, this eclipse is absolutely supporting this. So if you want to go and make those massive changes that have been sitting in your heart for a while, do it. It's absolutely the best time, and your energy, that energy around that big change is really being supported. So eclipses are generally kind of like this big portal, this big bridge, if you like, that takes you from one step to another, from one stage of your life to another. So as I said, if you connected with your heart, or there's something that's really been sitting in your heart for a while, and you've been really wanting to make a change or take a big step, you know, take that leap of faith, being supported, okay? And there's not really that much that you need to do under this new moon or under this eclipse. The universe has kind of got you back on this one. It's there for you, okay? You may find that new doors just start to open, new opportunities start to come in, new things just start to appear for you without you really having to do very much. What you do have to do though, and what's hard sometimes, is just open your heart to it. Open your heart to anything that the universe that throws your way, all right? Anything that's there. Be open, walk through those doors, take that leap of faith, trust. And sometimes those paths don't always look the way we expected them to, or the way perhaps we wanted them to. They can look different, they can appear differently. They can take us down some challenging routes perhaps on the way. Again, just come back to that space of trust. So that word that's really, really big, and it's been really big throughout this year, of trusting. You know, connect to your heart, open your heart, and trust. Venus is really active at the moment as well. Venus has been very active over the last month or so. Venus is the planet of love and relationships. A lot of theme over relationships. Again, as I touched on before, really connecting to your heart space and to protecting those boundaries that you have. So we've really spent some work looking at the relationships within our life, where they're depleting us, where they're lifting us, where we're placing perhaps too much energy, where perhaps we could give a little more. And again, this month, no different under that new moon, under that eclipse. So Venus is really active, and it's really asking us to take a deep look at the relationships within our life. Some relationships are challenging within our life. Some have been challenging for a very long time. We may have some new relationships in our life that are perhaps just being challenged a little bit at the moment. What we're being asked to do in that deeper level of work, if you're open to it this month, is being asked to look at those relationships that are, or in your heart, I guess, where you are willing to do the work. So those challenging relationships, asking yourself, am I willing to do the work? Am I willing to break through these challenges? Okay, number one. Number two, am I willing to perhaps change myself rather than wanting others to change? So we're very good at being like, well, they need to do this, they need to do that, they need to change this, they need to change that. What we're not very good at is looking inside and going, well, maybe I need to change my perspective. Maybe I need to have more sympathy or empathy. Maybe I'm on a different journey to what they are. Okay, I'm a true believer of soul growth, soul journeys. Some people's souls are just further evolved than others. Some people's journeys are different to what yours may be. Okay, we're all on this journey together, but we're all at different stages. Okay, so number one, are you willing to do the work? Number two, are you willing to perhaps look inside and change your perspective? And always connecting to your heart when we do that, with love and with kindness and with compassion for others. Or are these relationships, these challenging relationships just depleting you so much that perhaps it's time just to step away, to release and to let go, again with love, always, always, always with love, okay? But only you have the answers to these things. And that's what the beauty about connecting into our heart space, is that all of the answers are there. Yeah, they're all there. Our heart holds so much. It's our job just to listen, okay? And it's unique to us. So only you will have the answer to those questions. But if it feels right, if it resonates, if there are things that are challenging you at the moment, relationships that are challenging you, you're being supported just to sit with that, to sit with your heart space and to ask those questions. What are you willing to do? How are you willing to move forward? Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful new moon energy, beautiful eclipse energy. As I said, we're starting the eclipse cycle now, so we will have another eclipse, blood moon lunar eclipse on the 8th of November that ties in with the full moon. So beautiful energy. That eclipse will actually have more intense energy, so you may find that that one brings up a little bit more for you if this one's been quite subtle, or you might be really intense with both. One thing I did want to mention as well, so when we connect to the eclipses, the last eclipses that we had this year were around April, May. Okay, so we have that kind of link, that sort of drawbridge that comes back to around that time. So again, if you do spend some time just sitting in stillness and sitting with your heart space, perhaps just take a few moments just to think back to around April, May, and what was going on for you at that time. What was going on in your life? Was there any really big, significant things? Were there small things? Were there challenges you were going through? Big changes? What was going on for you? Okay, and if you can, we never force anything. So when we sit with this, we're not forcing like, oh, nothing's coming, and sort of sometimes we can get a bit frustrated. If it's not there, it's not there, and that is fine. Trust. All right, always come back to a space of trust. If it comes up for you, if you feel it, if it keeps popping into your mind, you keep feeling it in your heart, signs and things keep coming up, there's a reason. You're meant to look back at that, you're meant to work through it, there's something there for you. If it's not coming up, don't force it. Perhaps it's not there for you, maybe it's not something that you need to deal with right now, maybe you're not ready, or maybe there's something else that you need to place your focus on, okay? So just trust. But interesting, it was an interesting one for me looking back around April, May. That was when we moved from Australia to the UK. We landed on the 4th of May. So it was all around that April, May time that we were transitioning our move to the other side of the world. So really big for me, that was really interesting. So just wanted to mention that if that is something that is interesting for you and connects you back there. Lastly, I just wanted to speak a little bit about crystals. I love crystals. If you're watching the video here, I've got some crystals in front of me just to set that intention under this beautiful new moon, under this eclipse. If you're just listening, then I'm just going to speak a little bit about some crystals if you're into it that may help you under this new moon. So we've got clear quartz. Clear quartz is a beautiful crystal to help clear. Okay, so it helps clear our energy, it helps clear all of our chakras, the 7 main chakras in our body. So a beautiful one to work with under this new moon, under this eclipse, to clear out, to release, to let go of anything that we're holding that perhaps we don't need to anymore. Okay, so beautiful if you're working with those challenging relationships and it's something that you decide that perhaps you need to release and let go at this moment in time. Clear quartz is a nice one to help you do that. We've got some rose quartz. Rose quartz, one of my favourite. If you know me, you know how much I love rose quartz everywhere. Crystal of the heart. It is pink in colour. It is a beautiful, feminine, calming energy. It connects us to our heart space, to love, to compassion, to kindness. So a really, really nice crystal to have worked with over the last few months, over this whole year really, when we've really worked with that heart energy. So it just helps to allow our heart to open, to expand. Sometimes if we can feel a little bit vulnerable opening our heart, it can be a bit scary, particularly if we're opening to love, or if we're taking that leap of faith, that trust, and allowing our heart to guide, it can be a bit scary. So rose quartz, having that around, holding it, setting intentions upon it, having it in your room next to your bed, it's beautiful. I like to place rose quartz in 4 corners of the room, so perhaps in your bedroom or a room that you feel safe in if you have a safe space where you sort of meditate or do anything like that. Rose quartz in the four corners, really beautiful to welcome in that energy of love. Citrine. Citrine works with our solar plexus chakra. That sits just above our belly button. That's our core, our power. It's the light within us. I often speak about the light within you. You can either have it dimmed down or off. Some people that light's off. Some people it's dim. Some people it shines so bright. And that's what we want to do. We want to allow that light to shine brightly, to allow all of the beauty that's us to shine out into the world. And that is when we step into our power, our core, who we truly, truly, truly are. So when we connect with our heart space, when we align with our heart, we welcome in those new beginnings, those new doors, stepping into who we're meant to be at this time. We really work with that solar plexus as well. Citrine is a beautiful, beautiful crystal to work with when you're welcoming in new beginnings, when you're working with your dreams, your desires, all of those things that you wish to manifest and to bring into your life. Lastly, one last one that's beautiful to use every on the moon is rainbow moonstone. And as the name suggests, it connects to the moon, to the beautiful feminine energy of the moon. I love the moon, if you haven't already guessed. So rainbow moonstone brings in that moon energy, so brings in all of the intentions of the moon for that time, and it also just helps us to then connect to the universe, to connect to the universal energy of the moon, of the stars, of the planet, the world around us. Also a really beautiful crystal, again to welcome in new beginnings, so to welcome in any changes, any new beginnings that perhaps you're ready to open your heart to trust. Thank you so much. Sending love to you all, and happy new moon and solar eclipse. Thank you.